Scott with MuirSkate.com, and today we're going to show you how to properly install your trucks on a drop-through dervish deck. First, we're going to go through some of the hardware that you need to get this started. We always like to start with a skate tool, and also we have a 1/2 inch and a 9/16 inch socket. And here's what we're going to need to get this thing started. We're going to be using Randall 180s so that they don't wheel bite on the deck. We have the loaded drop-through risers. We also have 2 orange Cairo bushings, and we also have 2 blue. And then we also have our top washers. We have our cup washers for the bottom of the bushings. We also have 2 kingpins. We have our kingpin axle nuts, or kingpin nuts. And we also have our Bones Reds bearings. We have 1-inch panhead hardware. We have 10x8 bearing spacers, and we have 4 orangutan heats 80A thermometer. Okay, so first what we're going to do is just organize this a little bit. And first we're going to start with placing our riser pads over, under the base plate, as this. Pretty much size up the holes on the deck with the base plate. And then we're going to install our first panhead hardware. And then we're going to use our number 10 washers. You just want to go ahead and make sure it's nice and snug. You need to put too much pressure on it, but just enough where it's not going to turn too easily. Okay, that's done. Now we're going to install our trucks along with our bushings, and then put our wheels on. And first, we have our kingpins. First what we want to do is we want to put the flat washer in on the top side. This is a 5/8 washer, by the way. And insert that through the hanger. Drop in the blue bottom washer and bushing. And what we'll do is we're going to install that into the pivot cup. A little bit of pressure on the inside. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to go and insert the kingpin nut. We're going to tighten that. Make sure that's on there snug. Not too deep, because we want to make sure that there's good turning. There's good rebound in the bushings. Now we're going to go ahead and properly place in our bearings. What we like to do is we like to use a hanger, place both of the bearings on, with the shields underneath, and then what we like to do is put a little bit of pressure on the wheel in between the bearing, drop in the 10x8 bearing spacer, and press those in together. There you go. And now what we'll do is we'll just take a piece of hardware and just place it in the middle of the bearing and the wheel, just to align the bearing spacer and the bearings with the axle. Install that. Just go and tighten that. You like to tighten them to the point where there's a little bit of play between the wheel and the nut. And that's properly installed. And this is a properly put together Loaded Dervish drop-through.